Swedish data?
Swedish data. It turns out that Webhost has quite a lot of Swedish data. Might be because I've asked them to. They are the smaller data providers, or most of them actually are quite keen on getting new data. So if you ask them, could you please provide me with these and these URLs as well, they would probably add it. So I would say Twingly and Webhost for getting Swedish streaming data.
Excellent talk. When you talk about garbage in, garbage out, it also relates to what kind of use case that you're actually building a model for. You have to, you know more about this than me, but you have to basically make sure that whatever domain that you're building a model for, that you actually use data from the same domain. Because otherwise, if you're using, like, for instance, Twitter data, news text, that will, even if it's not garbage, it will still break. So, do you have like a processing step where you're making sure that you're having like a domain classification of your text to make sure that that text is relevant to your model?
Not an automatic one. It's a really tricky question. It's about model drift as well. But I'm involved in a research project doing exactly that, but for social and political scientists. So it's a tricky question. It's not solved. No, sorry.
Some questions for her?
Thank you for your talk. Like, it was extremely helpful and useful. So thank you for that. Now a broader question: GDPR. Like, what does it mean for code?
Well, it depends on who you ask. I asked one of the main law people at the previous company I was at, and they said no, you can't do anything. So in a worst case scenario, it means that Europe is getting 10 years behind the rest of the world because we can't do research on data science. And I think that pendulum will swing back, essentially, quite soon. But from me, from the tech perspective, you should think of it like this. I take the liberty of being ignorant. If we could fix the technology and the algorithms and the data so the things that we want to do work, let the other guys figure out the law. I mean, it couldn't really be holding us back in terms of research. But then again, if you're starting a business, you really need to be aware of the GDPR. And I think there's, since I'm not sure if anyone has actually been tried under GDPR as of yet. I know I heard a rumor about Google and Facebook actually betting on which one of them were getting sued first by the EU, and they turned out that they were sued the same day. So I think we have to wait for that for a bit. I'm sure there are boutiques downtown that can tell you what to do and what not to do. I'm not really sure about it.
Thanks for the talk. The question might possibly be stupid, but sorry if that's the case.
There are no stupid questions.
Well, basically, are there any licensing concerns for the data that's otherwise publicly available? For example, Twitter, right? If you, let's say, you wanted to solve the adversarial problem that they're hiding their data, right? And you created a huge server farm that would just scrape Twitter in its entirety. Would you then be bound by some licensing?
It's that in their terms of service, you're not allowed to try and reproduce their service, so you can't do that. So if you scrape, if you're getting all the data and try and do something with it, you cannot really sell it or show it. I think. Not sure about making models about it. Maybe you can do that. But yeah.
Thanks.
So like in general, you can't profit from other people's data.
No. And in general, it might be a less stable idea to try and build your entire business on someone else.
Hi, and thank you very much for the talk. I worked in one of these companies, and I can agree. One quick question. We know that most of the scraping is done mostly in China. What do you think about the potential introduction of biases in this data?
Well, there are biases all over. If you think about what people in the world own a smartphone and are interested in hooking up to interwebs and actually produce the data, I think already there's a bias. So getting a representative sample of a population, I think this is a no-go actually. And then that's also from the research point of view, but if you're in it to sell things, it might not matter if that is also your target business audience. I once was at a conference and Sony was on stage and they announced a new gadget. This was like 15 years ago. And someone from the audience asked, how did you evaluate this? And I said, I don't know. We shipped 200,000 units on Monday and we'll see how it sells. So I mean, that's also one way of creating or dealing with bias.
Great example. All right. Thank you so much for a good talk. And we'll take a break of 10-15 minutes now, and then we'll continue with Daniel Lankrinta, who's going to continue a little bit on the same topic.
Alla frågor här.
Faktiskt så här, konkreta exempel. Så här har du länkar.
Men du har spridit den här presentationen rätt mycket också. Ja, men det var jättebra.
Ja, men det är bra. Det är en sammanställning av väldigt mycket. Jag tänker att det
Ja.
So let's